Anna had always believed her life was simple in the best possible way. She had a steady job, a loving boyfriend, and, most importantly, a best friend who felt more like family. Clara had been part of her life for over 10 years. They had shared college stress, bad haircuts, heartbreaks, and long nights talking about dreams that felt both close and impossibly far away. Their friendship was built on routine. Every Saturday morning, they met for coffee at the same small cafe near Anna's apartment. Clara always arrived 5 minutes late, complaining about traffic, while Aina pretended to be annoyed even though she expected it. They laughed easily, the kind of laughter that came from knowing someone completely. Aina's boyfriend, Mark, fit naturally into this world. He was kind, attentive, and respectful, especially toward Clara. The three of them often spent evenings together, cooking dinner, watching movies, or talking about work. Anna felt proud of how well her boyfriend and best friend got along. It felt like proof that she had chosen well. From the outside, everything looked balanced and calm. Anna trusted both of them without hesitation. There were no secrets, no doubts, and no reasons to question anything. Or at least, that was what she believed. As Anna walked home after one of their usual Saturday coffees, she felt grateful. Life wasn't perfect, but it was stable. She had love, friendship, and a sense of security that made the future feel predictable. She didn't know yet that predictability was about to disappear, quietly and without warning. The first sign was so small that Anna almost ignored it. During dinner one evening, Mark checked his phone more often than usual. When Anna asked who was texting him, he smiled and said it was work. His answer was quick, rehearsed, and just slightly too casual. Anna noticed it, but she told herself she was over. A few days later, she met Clara for lunch. The conversation felt normal, but something was missing. Clara laughed less. She avoided eye contact when Anna mentioned Mark's name. At one point, she changed the subject so quickly that it left an awkward silence between them. Anna began to notice patterns. Clara canceled plans more often. Mark became vague about his schedule. When the three of them were together, there was a strange tension in the air, not obvious, but heavy enough to feel. One evening, Anna walked into the living room and found Mark and Clara already talking. They stopped when they saw her. The pause was brief, but it was long enough to make her uncomfortable. "Everything okay?" Anna asked, smiling. "Yes, of course," Clara replied too quickly. Mark nodded, avoiding Anna's eyes as he picked up his jacket. "I should go." After he left, Anna tried to continue the conversation, but Clara seemed distracted. Her phone buzzed, and she checked it immediately, then placed it face down on the table. Anna felt a quiet unease growing inside her. Nothing concrete had happened. No clear lies. No undeniable proof. Just small signs that didn't fit the picture she trusted. That night, lying in bed, Anna stared at the ceiling, replaying moments in her head. She told herself not to create problems where none existed. Still, a question she couldn't fully ignore began to form. What if the people she trusted most were hiding something from her? The conversation happened by accident. Anna had left work early that afternoon and decided to stop by Clara's apartment. She wanted to surprise her with coffee and talk, hoping to shake off the strange feeling that had followed her for days. Clara opened the door, looking startled. "Oh, Anna, I wasn't expecting you." "I just wanted to visit," Anna said, lifting the coffee cups. "Is this a bad time?" No. Come in." Clara's apartment felt unusually quiet. As Anna placed the coffee on the table, Clara's phone rang. She glanced at the screen, hesitated, and silenced it without answering. "Everything okay?" Anna asked. Clara nodded, but her hands were shaking slightly. They sat down, and for a moment, neither of them spoke. Finally, Anna said softly, "You've been distant lately. Did I do something?" Clara's eyes filled with emotion. "No. This isn't about you. That's what worries me," Anna replied. Clara took a deep breath. "There are things in life that are complicated. Sometimes people make mistakes without meaning to." Anna frowned. "What kind of mistakes?" Clara looked away. "The kind that hurt people you love." Anna felt her heart beat faster. "Clara, you're scaring me!" Before Clara could respond, her phone buzzed again. This time, Anna saw the name on the screen. Mark. Clara quickly turned the phone over, but it was too late. Silence filled the room. Anna's voice was barely above a whisper. Why is my boyfriend calling you? Clara closed her eyes, tears falling freely now. Because I didn't stop something when I should have. Anna stood up slowly, her legs trembling. What? Didn't you stop? Clara looked at her, guilt written across her face. I never wanted you to find out like this. In that moment, Anna understood that her doubts were not imagination. The truth was closer and more painful than she had ever expected. Anna sat back down, feeling as if the room was spinning. Tell me, she said. Her voice sounded distant, even to herself. Tell me everything. Clara wiped her tears, struggling to speak. It started with conversations. Nothing physical at first. We talked too much about feelings, about things we shouldn't have. Anna listened, frozen. I knew it was wrong, Clara continued, but I convinced myself it didn't mean anything, that it was harmless. And then? Anna asked. Clara hesitated. Then one night, after you canceled dinner because of work, it crossed a line. Anna felt something break inside her. How long? A few weeks, Clara admitted. We ended it, I swear. But the guilt never left. Anna stood up again, this time with anger rising through the pain. You both looked me in the eyes. Every day. I was afraid, Clara said. Afraid of losing you. You already lost me, Anna replied quietly. Clara reached for her hand, but Anna pulled away. I trusted you more than anyone, Anna said. You were my safe place. I know, Clara whispered. And that's what hurts the most. Anna walked to the door, her chest tight, her thoughts racing. She needed air. She needed distance. She needed to understand how the two people she loved most could betray her so deeply. As she stepped outside, her phone vibrated. A message from Mark. We need to talk. Anna stared at the screen, realizing that the life she thought was stable had been an illusion. Nothing felt safe anymore. The days that followed were filled with silence. Anna stopped answering messages. She ignored calls. She took long walks after work, trying to quiet her thoughts. The betrayal replayed in her mind, over and over, refusing to fade. Clara sent long messages apologizing, explaining, begging for forgiveness. Anna read them but never replied. Every word felt heavy, meaningless compared to the pain she carried. Mark tried to. He showed up at her apartment once, but Anna didn't open the door. She wasn't ready to see his face. To hear excuses she wasn't sure she could believe. At night, Anna lay awake, questioning everything. Had she missed other signs? Had the friendship and relationship she trusted so deeply been fragile all along? She felt lonely in a way she had never experienced before. Losing a boyfriend hurt, but losing a best friend felt like losing part of herself. Still, beneath the pain, another feeling began to form clarity. Anna realized that silence was not a solution. Avoiding the truth wouldn't heal her. One evening, she finally replied to a message. We need to talk. Tomorrow. She didn't specify who it was for. She knew both conversations were unavoidable. Anna met Clara first. They sat on opposite sides of a park bench, the distance between them feeling symbolic. Clara spoke immediately, her voice shaking. I am so sorry. I don't expect forgiveness. Anna looked at her calmly. Why didn't you tell me? I was selfish, Clara admitted. I wanted to keep you in my life. You made a choice, Anna said. So did I. Clara nodded, tears streaming down her face. I know I don't deserve another chance. Anna stood up. I don't know what the future looks like, but I know I need time. Real distance. Clara didn't argue. I'll respect that. As Anna walked away, she felt a strange mix of sadness and relief. That evening, Anna met Mark. He looked nervous, guilty, and tired. I hurt you, he said immediately. Yes, Anna replied. You did. He explained, apologized, and accepted responsibility. Unlike before, Anna listened without emotion. I don't hate you, she said. But I can't stay. Mark nodded, understanding. I lost you. Yes, Anna said softly. You did! They parted without shouting, without drama, just acceptance. Anna slowly rebuilt her routine. Life felt quieter, simpler, and more honest. She learned that trust, once broken, changes everything. She didn't know if she would ever forgive Clara, or if their friendship could be repaired, but she knew something important. Love, friendship, and loyalty were choices, and choosing herself was not selfish, it was necessary. As Anna walked past the cafe where everything once felt perfect, she smiled softly. She had lost people she loved, but she had found clarity, strength, and a deeper understanding of herself.